Good morning again. Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Jesus. I am excited about your life and my life. I'm just excited, people of God. I'm excited. When I say that, I sincerely mean it. Today is Sunday. It is Sunday, and it is April the 24th. Indeed, it's April 24th. Happy Sunday, people of God, and welcome back to AM Sundays. I'm your host, Camelia Hill. Mhm. Where we lift your mindset with the word. And guess what? A pinch. Put a finger together. A pinch of emotional intelligence. My God. I want to put a disclaimer here very briefly. I'm only sharing snippets. This is not a full blown sermon. So, the way I was taught to break down the scriptures, reference line upon line, precept upon precept, it's going to be kind of difficult if you're sharing snippets. So just stay with me. As I said, we lift your mindset with the word. And a pinch. That's what that pinch is there for. Just in case you didn't get it, I wanted to put that in there. I need you. Yeah, I want somebody. I know I got somebody in the comment section. I need somebody to raise their hand if they're only here for the comments. Raise your hand if you're only here for the comments. Good morning, Evangelist Métis Hill. My mother's here. You have a blessed day as well. Lysandra, dear heart, it's so good to see you. I'm so happy to see everybody. Kimberly, and I think I saw Regina. I'm happy to see you all. So grateful that you are here. But you can go ahead and put your little pump if you're only here for the comments. If not, that's a little something that hit my head. Mhm. Listen, people of God, Listen, listen, people of God, like, share, and subscribe. If you feel that this episode or these sessions are blessings to you, I want you to also, if you're subscribing, you're a new subscriber, to be sure that you hit that. There's a bell button there. If you tap it, it'll drop down and it'll say subscribe all at all times. And so if you hit that, if you're not being notified, that will allow you to be notified that we're live whenever we're live and whenever we post something. I need you to understand this, that your reactions, your comments, and your likes mean more to this ministry than you will ever know. And I am so ever grateful. One last point of reference here to the live hive, to the Camellia hive, to the camera hive, to the live hive, to the replay viewers, to our new subscribers. You all are amazing. You're amazing. And I'm just grateful. Listen. And so I'm so grateful that you watched, you stopped by with your sacrifices and your time to come in. Right. Good morning. Pastor Darlene Allen Nichols is in the box. She's there in Ministries, you guys. So so glad to have Pastor Darlene Allen Nichols here. And so we've been talking about, to segue into our conversation for this morning, our brief conversation, we've been talking about reruns, right? And so reruns, we understand, as we learned in our very first episode, there are events that reoccur, or they run again, if you will, right? So they happen in our life, repeat experiences. And we found out that they're not only confident, but they bring happiness. Oftentimes people don't want to revisit a place, sometimes because it brings a bad memory, but sometimes in that essence there is a huge point there. So before we again, I want to establish a placement here. We're going to be talking about second chances this morning, right? In the context of reruns. And a second chance is identified or understood to be as an opportunity to try something again after failing at it one time. So maybe you felt you didn't pass it before, or you didn't because things aren't going in your way. Well, this is what a second chance becomes for us. And so, as we've been lifting our thought this month, or our minds with the word, we've been talking about reruns, right? And so this morning we're going to look in the book of Jonah. We're going to use him as our placeholder. A lot of people are familiar. Some people say a fish, some people say a well. Whatever it was, he went in the mouth, right? I can't get no help here. He went in the mouth. My mother probably gonna get me for that statement, but nevertheless, but he went in the mouth of the fish. So we're in Jonah, right? And so I think that we all can attest that reruns are good. Some of us have our famous shows. Networks and movie productions will always allow reruns to happen on movies or episodes when they've been in high demand or when they have been given great reviews. And so here we are. The first place I want to look at here is when this happens. when the reruns happen, it often serves a purpose that those that have watched it for the first time may have missed a vital point. And because that they could felt like they couldn't get the complete message of the movie, somebody will say, I saw that, but I didn't catch that in the first round, right? Another place of reference could be because they were distracted at a pivotal point, especially if you're in a movie theater, that you can't hit rewind. And so you feel like you got to go back and watch that again, maybe when it comes on television, right? And so this could also be likened to a class assignment. Think about that thing. You submit your work and you feel like everything is right. And then your instructor turns it around and says, "Hey, it is, but you missed this. And I shared this with you the first time around." No one wants to go back and do that again. And as we look at the book of Jonah, Jonah in chapter 1, verse 5, this is where he missed it because he decided in his anger moment that he would go down to the belly of the boat and he would go to sleep. This is a familiar story, so I know you're following. But shall we return to where we started in this series, establishing reruns as being repeating experiences? So, for the backdrop of where we're headed this morning, let's look into Jonah very briefly, right? So, Jonah was commanded by God to preach to Nineveh. He was commanded to preach to Nineveh, but he became angry. He felt that Nineveh didn't deserve a second chance. Jonah had his own hang up in the midst of Nineveh doing evil, and yet this man of God displayed evil behavior. Process that thing for a moment. This is one of my favorite books. And so, as I always say, I pray that you will go back and you will certainly read it in your leisure. Mhm. And so, as Jonah allows his purpose to get distracted by focusing on what others had left behind and what they deserve, the irony of his attitude, he felt someone was undeserving, yet he was judging them. Lord, help us, Jesus. This issue gave Jonah a huge handicap. How? Because it paralyzed his ability to bring into subjection his flesh for what God had assigned him to do. Good morning, Lisa. I'm glad that you're here. I want to go further with that place, but this is just a nugget. So walk with me just for a little bit more. People of God, this became a rerun for Jonah because it allowed him a second chance to succeed at what he was not self-disciplined, if you will, to accomplish the first time because of his self-judgment. Good morning, Elder Sharon. We're so glad that you're here. Have you ever noticed, people of God, have you ever noticed after watching an original that something about it became intriguing to you? And when it becomes intriguing, it only draws you back to watch it again, right? Hint, the rerun. This word is being repeated quite a bit here, but I need you to catch this. And it focused on a scene that you may have ignored. Let's look at it like this. When revolving moments or a second chance happen, it allows growth. When we have revolving moments in our life, seems like they're repeating, or a second chance, if you will, they allow growth. It was introduced in the internal argument when we in our first episode with Nehemiah, when he wanted to argue with himself, basically, because Elisha wasn't arguing with him. It was Elisha. He wasn't arguing with him. So the internal uh argument that he had. And then we visited again last week with Jeremiah when he felt he didn't have the ability. So it built his strength and his thought patterns. That was in the second episode. It ultimately turns when we have these revolving moments and when we have second chances, they ultimately turn our firmness where we felt like we may have gotten it the first time, we felt or we had our own judgments brought into the whole assignment that God may have given us. It turns our firmness into a yielding place. Why? Because we have decided to come out of our flesh and become more patient and humble to what is being delivered to us, to what God is telling us. So we're in a heeding place. Mhm. I encourage all of you, and including myself, to have open minds as repeat opportunities begin to come before us. Sometimes we're like, well, I thought, yeah, I did, but why? I encourage us to embrace the repeating opportunities because remember, reruns are good. There are life lessons there, there are building moments there, and there are places where we can transition from an emotion that may have had us bound, an emotion that may have caused us to have a handicap or paralyze us. It causes us to move and to grow. Revolving moments are beautiful. Thank God, a second chance can become empowering to us. I want you to think about that. And in your leisure, as I said, go back and read Jonah. Go back and read Jonah. It's not just about him being in the fish, but about how his second chance allowed him to help the people and then also to help himself. Mm. People of God, it's been a great time of fellowship. And I want to, as I begin to dismiss from here, I want to speak prophetically to you, to your finances, to your family, and your place of employment, your mind, your body, and your soul, that it shall be well. Listen, if I can, before I dismiss, I really wanted to, but I also want to read the comments. I need us to understand this one point. Yeah, I'm going back. It's okay. In Jonah, the third chapter, in the first verse, we find that God did speak. We found that he spoke to him a second time. This is where Jonah had his second opportunity. Let us get into place because in the chapter 2, we find that he prayed. And so his mindset and his body began to change that. But Jonah, chapter 3 and 1, we found that he was given a second chance. God spoke to him a second time. All right, people of God, that is it for us. And I continue to speak prophetically to you, your mind, your body, your soul, that it, glory to God, it shall be well. Bless you, Lysandra. Thank you so much. People of God, I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.